Hello. Got a left-handed Xbox controller. I was able to actually find some controllers on Amazon. I don't know. I just have a bad feeling they're going to kill all the hardware. Oh yeah, that should be a topic of discussion tonight. Like Xbox killing the hardware. And PlayStation discs. I'm kind of shocked people are surprised by that. That's kind of disappointing. Maybe it's my mistake for thinking that not everyone's as black-pilled as I am. I'm sure they aren't. I think about that when I watch Louis Rossmann videos. It's like, oh, he still thinks voting matters. That's cute. Maybe that's why I have that attitude. Yeah, maybe next week we could test that Adafruit screen. Here's this with some more light. This should be the form factor. Screen riser, most of it. The cartridge takes up quite a bit of it, so it should be pretty compact. And it's gonna have like a big, like I think it's either 3000 or 3500 milliamp hour battery. So that should be good. Hey, even Steven. Oh, it's another one with only the one antenna. So they did change something. Well, yeah, but then, yeah, you had all those, like, people like, oh, wow, a new CEO of Xbox? She's really cool. And then, record scratch, right? She's firing everybody? It's like, God, people are, I don't know. I don't want to sound like video game devs and, like, rip on video gamers, but I don't know. I think there could be more critical thinking out there. Critical thinking also involves thinking of things that you don't like. Rossmann catching strays. Yeah, that guy's way too blue-pilled. Oh God, Marissa Mayer. There's a name I haven't heard for a very long time. A long, long time. Yeah, this Xbox chick, she's obviously there to slash and burn. Oh, and then what was it? It's like she got She's on the Federal Reserve Advisory Board. Red flag, red flag, red flag. Major red flag. Oh, I see a green flag. Tyler Knudsen sent a super chat, $4.99. Thank you very much. Said nothing. There's no. It just says reply. I can't actually reply in this chat, believe it or not. I'm not logged into the chat because I think it's stupid that you have to log in twice, so I can't actually type in my own chat. But yeah, what did you want to say in that super chat, Tyler? What do you think about resin printers? I've tried a couple in the past. For my purposes, there was too much post-processing time to really make it useful. I like to just pull things right off the bed and use it. Yeah, so they weren't for me. But for people that, like if you're into tabletop or something like that, like they're definitely a killer app. Yeah. I mean, I think they're cool. I just, that's why I don't have one. Actually, Form Labs sent me their first model many years ago, and I actually sent it back because I was like, I don't need this. That was probably kind of silly to do. I probably should have just given it to someone else, but I don't know, for some reason I thought it was a loaner unit, but usually they just give you whatever. Oh, well, thank you, Tyler. Oh, God, who knows what Amazon... I get all sorts of stuff from Amazon Prime. It could have been anything. I usually keep those padded envelopes because I can use them as packing materials. Like if I make one of these controllers, I can put like some bubble wrap around it, and then I can wrap that with one of those bubble Amazon mailers and then stick it in my Uline box. I saved 3 cents. I often wonder, like, one of the things with Gen X, it's like, I think part of our deal is like we actually knew people that grew up in the Depression and fought in the World War II. You know, it's like we actually talked to those people. We didn't just read about it in a book. Oh, I was really impressed the other day. Some of my family came to visit because they were going to go to the airport like early yesterday morning, and anyway, so we were cooking out on Saturday, and I don't know how it came up, but my niece actually knew what the Battle of the Bulge was. I was really impressed. I was like, holy shit, they teach you things in school? So then I told her the story about how one of her great uncles was actually captured in that battle, and she was like, wow. On the American side, obviously. I noticed my niece has gotten like really good at video games. Like, we went to the bar and we left her at home, and she was playing High on Life 2, and I noticed she was like really good at it. Like she was really good at like shooting bad guys, and she also was kind of speed running it. But then I'm like, I think you got to turn around here and actually clear all the enemies before that door will open. Okay, so this is a lefty. Oh, I forgot to see if they changed the... Nope. Yeah, no, I've only ever... Yeah, I think... What did I see that exactly once? That new circuit board layout. So this is a new controller too, because they only have one antenna attached. See how one of the antennas unpopulated right there? So this is definitely something that's changed recently, is the antenna. But thankfully they went back to the old expander. Well, I mean, I think it was the same expander, but they didn't have any test points. But all the test points on the Xbox is what makes it so easy to hack. Like the Xbox One S, like the 2016 controller, where they added Bluetooth, it's so similar to this controller. Like the test points have the same name. Well, some of them, like the ones on, like the ones for ABXY, their test points have the same number. Like what is it? Test point 23, 22, 21. I mean, really all they did was add the share button. It's really all that's different. Actually, yeah, it's pretty much the same. I would say this one's actually a little easier to modify than the 2016 model. Because there was the 2013 model, then there was like, there was the 2013 model that used, had a matrix, which is kind of weird. But actually one of the original 2005 wired Xbox 360 controller used a matrix. And the 2013 model, well, one of the 2013 models did. So when I did a lot of my early hacking, I would deliberately try to find the non-matrix DirectIO 2013 models. But then they became the standard, not the... Yeah, so thankfully there's not too many matrixed Xbox One controllers. It will be sad if the hardware goes away. The Xbox hardware is so much easier to hack than Sony. Just like physically, like, you know, the traces, the test points everywhere. They don't do like fucking black or purple circuit boards like Sony usually does, like, so you can actually see everything. That's why I feel like I've said this a million times, but that's why I don't do Sony stuff. It's not that I don't want to do Sony stuff. I'd have no problem doing it. It's just that the first party Sony controllers change too much. So I could never lock down a procedure. Like the first couple of years, I would buy one of the controllers every year. And I would be like, oh, it's changing. So it's like, well, shoot. Like even stuff like, you know, I had like those the force feedback triggers or whatever. Like they changed the circuit board on those. They changed the test points on those. So they literally changed. Well, literally. I'm sorry, used it wrong. Well, actually, I guess literally would be correct. They actually changed their controllers every year. They change it every year, and they actually had done that for decades. So that's why I never do Sony stuff. I made a battery pack with a TP4056 and a LiPo battery. Can it eventually fry its board? I don't know, as long as the voltage is not too high. Well, oh, what, are you putting like 4.2 volts in where it should be like 2 AAs? Is that what you're talking about? It probably still goes through a regulator. I mean, you know, there's a bunch of... Yeah, there's a bunch of transistors on here. One of them might be a regulator. See, that might be one. Yeah, that could be a couple right there. See over there? See that guy, that guy. You've got like 3 inductors. Although that could be doing something for audio amplification. Maybe? I don't know. I think if you would have fried it, it would have happened immediately. There, that's my words of encouragement. Let's see how my shitty battery's doing. Oh, it's still alive. Darth Vader is still alive. Oh, a 3.3 volt regulator? Oh, you'll be fine then. Oh, come on. I was actually snuggling with my cat before I came down here, but I don't know where he went. Left. Ugh. I guess I could. Come here, bud. Bud, come here, bud. Let's see if he shows up. Oh, I bought a super pack of Bud food today because I realized it's like, well, I have this prescription, but every time I fill the prescription, I have to go to the vet and get the food earlier and earlier because the food doesn't last as long as the vet visits. So it's like, oh, okay, so I take Bud to the vet in October, and now I take him in September. And then I was like, well, now the food's going to run out in, like, September. So anyway, I went online. I actually asked their chat just to double check. So I was like, I switched my next shipment or whatever. I was like, give me 4 cases of food. So now I can just let the prescription lapse and then take them to the vet in October like I used to do, and then get the new subscription or the new prescription, and then be back. Yeah. But yeah, because otherwise I'd have to continually go to the vet earlier and earlier every year because the prescription would run out before the vet appointment comes up. First world problems, I know. But I had planned this for many months. So I had it on my calendar. And I'm like, oh, today, this is the week. So I was like, give me 4 pallets of expensive food. I think the script goes until like the end of, it's either the end of September or the end of August. I think it's the end of, I don't know. Well, anyway, I have 3 extra boxes, so that should get me past the hump. So I can just take him back to the vet in like the first week of October. I don't know, that sliding scale was like triggering me. A prescription is a fancy subscription. Well, yeah, I have a subscription plan to my cat. If I stop paying it, he'll die. That sounds like something from like a dystopian novel, aka The Present. Well, nothing interesting at all happened in the one day since I streamed last. I know that's probably hard to believe. Oh, I guess Sam Neill died. That kind of sucks. I had to text my mom because my mom loves Sam Neill. So I had to be like, sorry for your loss. Some kind of evil game show like The Running Man. Lindsay G died? Who's that? Is that one of the Kardashians? Oh, I got the, well, it's missing the monitor circuit board, but I think I mentioned this last night. I got Sky Shark in my arcade now. In my garage. Well, I hope it doesn't become an arcade. I went out there after, well, actually, I think it was right before I came on here, and I was like, I wonder how loud I can crank the music. And you can actually make it pretty loud. So I can pretend to play the game without the screen. And it's like down, 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 down. Oh, Lindsey Graham died. Yeah. At least Lindsey Graham can die and just be dead, unlike Mitch McConnell, who is totally dead. I think Fidel Castro died long before they admitted it as well. Oh, that's right, he wasn't Bicentennial Man. Bicentennial Man is like a really good movie. It's actually like, they kind of sold it as like a dumb comedy, but it's actually pretty solid sci-fi. Sam Neill's always great, or was always great. Then they like In the Mouth of Madness and Event Horizon. So the one time when I went to New Zealand, I went down to Wellington and I took the Weta tour. Although you don't get to see a whole lot of stuff on it, but there is like a there was like a prop area, and when was that? Well, that would have been long after they were trying to make a Halo movie. Because remember, Peter Jackson was trying to make a Halo movie for the longest time. So they had a warthog, like a full-size warthog, and in the driver's seat they had a really well-done dummy of gosh damn it. The guy we were just talking about, Sam Neill. Yes. It was like, God, I can't remember what they said. They said it was for some movie where Sam Neill was getting beaten up and thrown in the back of a truck or in the trunk of a car. So they made a dummy because it would be safer or something. But it was like, it looked real. I remember thinking, oh, I could take this back home and give it to my mom. But yeah, it was just kind of weird. I probably have a photo of it someplace. Or maybe I don't know if did they allow? I can't remember. That was a long time ago. Yeah, it's just weird to see Sam Neill in a warthog. All right, well, there should be term limits and age limits. Like, if you're like over 65, you cannot be elected for anything. Because there's all these like AOC, like she'll be in Congress or she'll be in the Senate as long as Nancy Pelosi or as long as Bernie Sanders. Like, and it's both sides. Like, well, Lindsey Graham is the perfect example. Like, you have an area that's red or blue enough, and you will have the same people in Congress for their entire lives because nothing ever changes in those districts. Like, you'll just be in there eternally. Like, we have old people that don't know how to use a computer, like doing legislation involving like computers or digital IDs or 3D printers. Screw that. I think if you can't drive a car, you shouldn't be in office. Because it's just a grift. It's a bunch of people who can't do anything else, and maybe they weren't able to get, you know, cushy jobs in the pharmaceutical industry, so they just stay in office for decades and decades, sucking up as much money from the taxpayers as they can. It's just like when you read about, oh, here's some Netflix show and it cost $500 million, and it's like, well, where'd all the money go? It's like, well, you watch the show and there's like 24 listed executive producers. That's where all the money goes. It's the same thing. It's just a whole bunch of people lined up to suck money out of like the government, Netflix, Paramount Plus, Element 14, and that's all they do is they just suck up all the money. Ugh. Actually, Lindsey Graham wasn't even that old. I guess people just hated him. But he actually was a lot younger than like Mitch McConnell or Pelosi or Bernie or Joe Biden. Although I did think about that. Actually, yeah, my Uncle Bud made me think about Joe Biden because it's like he's old and he's the same age. And he's like, oh, I'm going to climb up on this roof and repair the roof. And I'm going to climb up and replace this awning for your mom and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, dude, you're too old. You shouldn't be doing that. But a lot of times you just can't tell, you know, these old men especially. It's like they just want to keep doing stuff. And I guess it's better than not doing stuff. But it's like obstinance, I think. I don't know. I already don't like ladders, and I don't know. I guess it's better than just like curling up and dying, but at the same time, it's like, you sure you should really be doing this stuff? Well, GST, I mean, that already happened. Like, what amendment was it? The one that caused term limits, because there weren't presidential term limits. There weren't any term limits for anything. There weren't presidential term limits until like, I want to say it was 1952, and they did it because of FDR. Even though FDR, obviously, you know, he died, you know, during World War II, people were like, oh my gosh, like if he hadn't have died, like he probably could have kept getting elected forever. And then people were like, that's kind of like a king. And that's why they did, I can't remember which amendment it was. You guys can look it up. But in that case, yeah, if you want to have an amendment like that, you do have to have, I think it's either 66 or 75% of the states have to agree on it in order to have an amendment. So yeah, I mean, it happened before. And as technology allows old fuckers to live longer, it just becomes more and more relevant. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. Well, Roosevelt also died before he finished his, third term? Yeah, Alan, I did know that, yes, because I watched a lot of his his testing videos, and he talks about that in a video. And he says, he's like, I don't agree with some of the design choices on this robot because it was a little silly looking, but he's like, but the build quality is just exceptional. Yeah, if you've never seen Bicentennial Man, and if you're into robots and science fiction, it's actually a really good movie. It's like Sam Neill is like this guy, and he's like, I'm going to buy a robot for my family. And so they buy this robot, and it's, you know, this Robin Williams robot. And it's kind of silly. They like, you know, the kids are like picking on the robot and pushing it out the window, and the robot's making dumb jokes. But then, I don't know, I think it's like the robot builds a cuckoo clock or something. So the robot like actually creates his own hobbies for some reason. Or I think it's like the robot breaks and he fixes his thumb. So then Sam Neill is like, he says, he's like, well, you know what? If you think this is interesting, he like encouraged the robot to like pursue his hobbies. And so then it's like the manufacturer thinks a robot might be broken or something, and Sam Neill is like, if you do anything to this robot, if you alter his memory in any way, I am going to sue your company into oblivion, and I already have this license agreement already done with my lawyer. So he does all the stuff to like protect the robot. And, you know, obviously Sam Neill is super awesome. But he's like a really nice guy. He's like really kind to the robot. And then, what is it? It's like, so this robot slowly starts to become human. So like he designs his own parts to make himself like less of a robot. And then I think it's like the robot like falls in love with like Sam Neill's great granddaughter or something. Played by M. Beth Davids, aka Sheila from Army of Darkness. And it's called Bicentennial Man because that's how long he lives. But yeah, it's a good movie. Oh, is this fourth term? Jesus. Yeah, I don't think I saw Bicentennial. Yeah. Oh gosh. I don't know, maybe like 8 years ago. I mean, so it was like, you know, long. It was like, you know, at least quite a long time after it was actually released. And I just rented it one day, and I'm like, wow, that was way better than I would have thought. Because, yeah, the ads kind of sell it as like this kind of like dorky, you know, dorky robots. Well, yeah, wasn't he also in that Robots movie? So, yeah. But, yeah, the movie's like way more serious than how they pitched it or advertised it. There also isn't really a whole lot of conflict in it. It's not like they're trying to, like, you know, put him in the scrap heap or anything like that. Like, really, the main conflict at the end of the film is that he wants to be recognized as human. So, Ben, do you have to do those stupid employee reviews now that you're a full-time employee? I haven't had to do one yet. Gosh, I don't think I ever saw Flubber. I think my little brother had the videotape of it. Oh, crap. Maybe that's why I never watched Bicentennial Man, because by that time I just thought Robin Williams made like Disney movies. Which I guess he kind of did. Should have done this first. What a fail. So no GST, it doesn't, actually nothing's really changed, like, I mean, on paper I should be making more money, because I also got a raise, but, I don't know. Maybe it's because I've been doing a lot of expenses this year. It doesn't really feel like it yet. I mean, that's not their fault. That's just the economy. It should be, well, yeah, I don't know. I guess one thing that kind of surprised me, but I guess it shouldn't have, was like being self-employed. Just like with the way like taxes and stuff work, like it was usually like you know, with quarterlies and all that, it's like it didn't feel like I would even be saving money until like the second half of the year, and it still kind of feels that way because I don't have to pay quarterlies now, but I still have like my property tax, which is, even when you own your house outright, it's still a lot. Actually, you're even more awake to or woke to it when you have to pay every cent. You're like, Jesus Christ, renting from the government. He made a Weibo robot. Okay, let me make sure. I think that's the button pattern. But anyway, yeah, so far nothing really feels any different. I used my new insurance to get pills, so that, I guess it worked, so Yahoo. Let's see. And the copay on the pills was, I think it was about the same as before. Well, I know they like how fast I code, and then people thought Evil Dead was like amazing, and I'm making pretty good fast progress on the new game too. I think I would like to be making a little more progress than I am. It's a little held back by the assets because I'm still not 100% sure of what. I mean, I have a pretty good idea of what the studio allows, but when we did Evil Dead, you know, like pretty much right off the bat, they're like, okay, you can do this, this, or this. You can't show this. You can't show the scene with the tree, although we allude to it in code. You know, you can't show the dagger. What was it? You can't show the dagger from the. You can't show the dagger or the book from the first movie. If you show the dagger or the book, it has to be from the second movie. And then you can't show any humans other than Ash from the second movie. You can show any humans, including Ash, from the first movie, but you can't use the soundtrack from either movie. But all in all, it was fairly simple. The new one I'm working on, I know some of like the rule. I don't know, but yeah, I don't want to do too much audio video in case we have to change stuff. So it feels like I could be a little further ahead if it weren't for that. But they're still really happy with the progress. It's only been like 4 months. So I guess it's pretty good. I want to try to have it done by next summer. So I want to I want to try to do this in under 18 months. I think that would be nice. Move on to a different game. Like, where we were talking about Xbox earlier, I read about these studios like crying rivers of blood because, oh, we didn't make a game in 6 years and we lost our job. It's like, yeah, shut up. Oh, I feel so bad for you. Yeah, Randy, that was the number one reason I wanted to stop being self-employed was because, yeah, buying the insurance myself was like getting like, it was getting logarithmically more expensive through Obama Don't Care. A Breakfast Club pinball machine. I've never seen Good Morning Vietnam. Is it any good? Remember when all these comedians were all raunchy before they got Disneyfied? Like Robin Williams or Eddie Murphy. You know, back when they were raw. Well, the new AC appears to be working. It hasn't blown up again, so. I guess it's good that it broke again when it did because that was right before the heat wave. Because it was, well, I don't know. I think it was probably about 2 weeks after I tried to turn it on and then it wasn't working, and it wasn't too bad. There were a couple days where I was like, ugh. There's a couple. There was a couple nights where I would go out, sit in my truck, blast the AC, like watch YouTube videos and drink beer. Hey, it's in my driveway. Was not operating on a public road. But yeah, if it would have been still broken, like what was that, 2 weeks ago, that would have been bad. Yeesh, 18K a year? Oh, God. Yeah, mine wasn't that high, but it was... Well, it was just for one person. I want to say it was like pushing like 10, maybe? So it was like, ugh. Oh no, she's empty. Well, anyway, once we get to speaking of money, once we get the back half of this year, then I should actually like, then I should be like, oh, okay, now I feel like, you know, I am making more money not being self-employed. Because like everything, well, this has been the way for years. It's like everything is in the first half of the year. It's like you got property tax, quarterly, taxes on top of quarterlies, property tax, quarterly, property tax. Yeah, so now it's just property tax, property tax, property tax. But I'll probably still be paying extra at tax time because yeah, but I guess that's better than paying 4 times a year. That way I only have to hate the federal... Well, I mean, I hate the federal government 24/7, but I only have to write checks out to those assholes once a year. I guess that's an improvement. Well, Retro, we don't have terrible health care. We have a terrible way of paying for it. And we don't have, you know, national health care for people. Or, well, I should say we don't have national health care for the middle class, is what I should say. The all the games we do are pretty much licensed now, so I can't talk about what license I'm working on until it's released. But so it'll be a while. It'll probably be like next November before it's released, as in 2027. So. Excuse me. A W-2 employee and you own your own business. Yeah, when they tried to fix my old AC, they charged me like $2,000, and it was like basically a waste. So I'm like, Jesus Christ, I should just replace it at the start. I wonder if they do that on purpose. Like, oh yeah, it costs this much to service it, or you can just get a new one installed for $5,000. That's probably how they do it. Where's the Blatz? I saw something like his slits is like ending or something. Did anyone else hear about this? Slits is ending. Anyone hear about this? Anybody hear about this? What's the deal with airline food? Well, I have a bunch of High Lifes upstairs, and I also have some THC drinks. Oh, I drank one of those last week, didn't I? Those are weird. Like, they take forever to kick in. I was actually asking ChatGTP about it, and they were like, yes, based off the brand you bought, it is a high-quality brand. However, blah, 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 blah. Basically, it said that it doesn't actually get sucked up by your body until it goes to your intestines, which is why it takes forever for it to actually kick in. Like, I think that was last week, wasn't it? Last Monday. I drank one, and I started a stopwatch on my watch, and I fell asleep before because I've noticed you can definitely feel it when it kicks in, but that particular one, I want to say it was at least an hour and a half, and then I just went to sleep. So, I mean, I think I had a pretty good night's sleep, though. Yeah, there was something like the Farm Bill in like 2018 or 2019 basically paved the way for THC drinks everywhere. Yeah, anyway, they have them, I think it's like Cornbread brand. They have them at the liquor store down the road. But the liquor store guy, he knew. They're expensive, though. It's like $5 a can. But I don't know. I've been trying them because a big reason I like to drink beer at night is because it makes me sleep. You know, to be completely, blatantly obvious, it's like if I have like 3 to 4 beers or more, I lay down, bam, I'm asleep. That's the best thing about it. But it's like, well, but beer has all these bad calories, and it's bad for you. So it's like, oh man, I wish there was something else. And a friend of mine suggested just pot, but I don't know. So anyway, I've been trying these things. Actually, that same friend did give me like a pack of other THCs. But I think those were weaker. These are 10 milligrams, I want to say. The first one I tried was weak. I didn't feel anything. Maybe like a slight, well, I don't know. Or maybe I should just drink it sooner. So if like I'm going to lay down at like 10:30 or 11, maybe I should drink it at like 9, which seems early. It's not like beer where you feel instantly, I guess is my point. The crown means that you're the top chatter, basically the person who's talking the most. So that's what the crown means. It ranks the top chatters. Ben Heck drugs. No, I'm not. Well, I don't know. I remember when I toured this house, the basement reeked of pot because, you know, renters think that no smoking means pot's okay and no pets means cat's okay. That's renter mentality. I don't know how the people got rid of the smell. Because I remember the next time I came back, I think I came back another time or something before I actually bought it. Because I had like a luxurious 3 days to decide. And oh man, it reeked down here. I don't know how they got rid of the smell. Every so often, I feel like I can smell it. I don't know if I'm hallucinating it or maybe like some beam warms up or something. I don't know. Say, hey man, if we smoke in the basement, like, it doesn't count because we're not, like, in the house, man. You know, because the basement doesn't actually have egress windows. That means the basement doesn't count in the square footage or bedroom count of the house. Which means, like, we can totally smoke pot down here, man. Yeah, I'm a hippie. Ben has seen Karen getting stoned. I don't think Karen did drugs. I think she might have been a drinker, though. I don't know. We never really got along, so we never like really hung out. Like one of our show is over parties, like we did it. We went without Karen. We went on this big bar hopping. I think it was actually kind of where her condo is too, like on Atwood Avenue. Like, so we were like bar hopping, but it was like me, Max, and Felix. And I remember Felix bought a trucker hat at the, what was that place called? It's like it's on Atwood Avenue. Dear Ben Heck, are you still on X? Oh yeah, I'm on there. I am a very salacious tweeter though, so be warned. Okay, up right is TP14. TP44, okay. Why am I second guessing myself? Okay, okay, so this is right. Okay, here we go. Right for TP44. Go over Papa Palpatine. You have a collect call from Darth Vader. Oh, guys, I gotta take this, guys. I'm sorry. I pissed a bunch of people on Twitter off because I was talking about the PlayStation discs. I was like, I don't get it. Why is it okay for Steam to do this, but not PlayStation? And it's like, why are you guys surprised? It's like I'm totally shocked that they don't want to make discs. It's like, I guarantee you what PlayStation or Sony's gonna do here, you can like take this to the bank. This is going to be their quote unquote mea culpa. They'll be like, oh, well, I guess we'll keep making discs for PlayStation 5, but there is no chance in hell that they put a Blu-ray drive in PlayStation 6. But it's okay, because nobody will be able to afford it anyway. I don't know, I just... It's not that, I mean... The thing that bugs me about it is that people were surprised by it. Like, oh, I'm sorry, the PlayStation discless, the Xbox Series S. So I think there's like a lot of like privacy and ownership issues that are way more important than video games, because spoiler warning, video games or pinball machines aren't important whatsoever. There are more important things to worry about. Okay, so that was right, up, okay, ground. Yeah, my thing is, yeah, Xbox tried it. They got punished, which put Sony into a basic, well, yeah, Sony's been kicking their ass ever since, and now that, the thing is, come on. If Xbox makes another console, it's not going to have a disc drive either. Because people are like, oh, save us, Xbox, save us, and then it doesn't have a disc drive. I still think they're going to make a streaming console. That's my bet. Like if I was an Indian and got hired, oh shit, did I say that out loud? If I was the new head of Xbox, I would throw a Project Hail Mary and I would be like, let's make a streaming Game Pass box, because we're already screwed. RAM sucks. So what if we make like a $150 streaming box, like as a Hail Mary pass? Because I've tried that. Like, I've tried streaming stuff on Game Pass, and it works. And that was shit. That was before I had my super internet. Oh, yes, exactly. Like, Sony going all in on that ID thing, that's much more important than trading in a disc to GameStop. Because here, let me give you the spoiler warning from the future. And I freaking hate it when I see YouTube. Well, there's a lot of things that bugs me about YouTube people, but I'll see a video and it'll be like, the video will be like talking about whatever company this week is talking about doing age attestation. It's like, no, don't use their language. Don't use their language. It's ID collection. That's what it actually is. It's like, you know, like when the cops show up and they want to look at everyone's IDs for some reason. It's kind of the same thing. Well, it's not. Well, it is kind of the same thing. It's like, yes, that's what it's really about. It's about ending online anonymity and also pushing digital everything. Because, well, yeah. Now we're getting into the. Well, that's what that's what is happening. I know it's what's happening, and you can call me crazy right up until I'm proven right. That's the whole purpose is. Yeah, they want a digital online ID, which is a key component of some other things they're trying to do. But yes, Sony bowing to that. That's much more important than, oh no, discs. I don't know. I also think Steam gets overly glazed. I did find some. I did find it kind of funny when they everyone turned on the Steam box. It's like, well, you know, even if this thing was $800, it still would have failed. Yeah, Resi, that's a good example. Because here's the thing, it's not that I want the companies to like take your media, because, you know, I'm 100% for ownership. Blah blah blah. The thing is, it's just kind of, I mean, let's face it, it's going to be like 2030, right, for any new console. So they're going to be putting a 24-year-old Blu-ray into a console in 2030. So that means, if you look at the time delta between formats, CD to PlayStation 1 was 13 years, DVD was 4 years, Blu-ray was 0 years, Blu-ray to PS4 was 7 years, Blu-ray to PlayStation 5 was 14 years, and this will be 24 years. It's kind of like getting upset that your Toyota Tacoma doesn't have a tape deck in it. Because, again, if you break it down to not just being, oh, you know, ownership. If you actually think about it from a manufacturing standpoint, it is kind of ridiculous to put a mechanical optical disc drive into a console in, I would even say in 2020. I mean, I was for sure they were going to get rid of discs then. So I would say you got about 10 more years than I would have thought. So I don't know. Anyway, cancel me. I don't care. That's how I feel. So it's not that I support people not being able to own their games, because that sucks, but it's inevitable. And I think people need to think about it just from a manufacturing standpoint, because, you know, Sony's like, what if we didn't have to manufacture 100 million Blu-ray drives? So it's because it's not like they're selling 100 million Blu-ray drives to a competitor like Xbox. It's like, oh, we're having to pay for these Blu-ray drives. Okay, why at the top? A21 down. Well, anyway, that's my critical thinking take on it. And I'm more concerned about, like, oh, you don't own the software in your car. Because, again, cars are more important than video games. Or you have to get a Nest thermostat, which will limit the maximum temperature of your home, and if you don't install it, we're going to deny your insurance. That's the kind of stuff I'm worried about, not stupid video games. Bud! Bud, are you a subscription service cat? Well, of course they won't, but the thing is, like, why do people think Sony is like some big... It's the same thing with Nintendo. It's like, these are still corporations. It's like, pretty much all corporations are like this. I mean, hell, like, from a console standpoint, Microsoft is much more pro-consumer than Sony or Nintendo. Like, if people are really that butthurt about this, you know what you could have done to, like, stop this? Is you could have bought Xboxes. Like, you could have actually made healthy competition, because honestly, unless you're obsessed with Sony's like movie games, like, oh my god, I gotta have Spider-Man, I gotta have God of War 12. It's like most of the games are the same, you know, like the cross-platform stuff. I mean, I don't know. I guess that must drive sales, like all the Neil Druckmann shit. I got tired of those games. I was tired of those kind of games by 2020. And that's actually why I bought an Xbox Series X. It's like, ugh, I do not need any more of these Dad of War games. Actually, who did the Spider-Man? Was that, what, 2018 when they made that? That was pretty good. I played through that. I gave the disc to my niece, though. Well, Switch 2 also has like those key cards, which is probably just like a crypto hash on a chip. And I'm sure they're gonna. Well, they're probably gonna do that way more now because Flash is getting expensive too. But I mean, even then, it's like okay, it's like a software dongle. Like okay, my ownership of the software. Oh, I'm sorry, my license to use the software is tied to my possession, like right of first sale of this key card. Well, no, I don't like. Okay, like look, Grand Theft Auto, right? I just have a feeling. I mean, it's going to be 30 FPS. If Grand Theft Auto runs at 60 FPS, I will eat Bud's tail. So that game's they're probably crunching the bejesus out of that game right now. So even if they made a disc, there would be 100 gigabyte day one patch. So it's kind of like, what's the point? I guess, yeah. Oh, well, I own the game because it's on the disc. All right, I don't know. It's like, okay, right now, go out to your car and tell me where the CD tray is. And if you can find the CD tray, okay, where are your CDs? How long does it take you to find your CDs in the closet? How long does it take you to find the tray? Like, which random edging or slit in your vehicle is the CD tray? Yeah, I think Steamo. Okay, well, here's the thing. If Gabe Newell was really that serious about SteamOS, why doesn't he sell the Steam Machine at a loss? I mean, he's a billionaire. Why can't he sell it at a loss if he's that serious about it? Like, he beat Microsoft at their own game. The thing is, and then he's like, oh, this will stop Windows. Like, well, you're still using Windows API. So really, it's like, have you really defeated Windows? Oh, I forgot to do this. La da 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 dee da 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 do do. Yeah, a thumb drive could be a bottleneck, but so is a Blu-ray drive. Like I actually looked it up. A maximum speed Blu-ray drive has a lower bandwidth than my fiber internet. Well, Blue Car, Gabe has the connections. It's called he's a billionaire. He's the connections. What gives you the right? I'm rich. There, that was an impression of the Snyderverse. Come on, line up, line up, line up, line up. There we go. And clunk. Yeah, Red Dead 2 was on 2 discs, wasn't it? Yes, it was. And it took like an hour to install it. Okay, all right, let's assume Grand Theft Auto is Crunchland, right? Which it probably is, because I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't delay it again. So, if you're making a disc, that means you'd have to crunch twice. You'd have to crunch for the gold disc, which would be about a month before release, and then you'd crunch again for the release, which means you'd be crunching for 2 different build targets. Oh, the Atari solders. It's almost gone. Go bravely into the dark night. Rises. Yeah, I know it does. It is a sucky future, but all of the future sucks. In case you haven't figured it out yet. It feels like Batman Returns, where it's like, Bruce Wayne, I'm gonna build data centers to suck up all the energy. Because Gotham has an energy surplus. Actually, that was the plot of that movie. I guess that movie is more prescient than we thought. Ben's dystopian future TED Talk? Yeah! I would start out my TED Talk with pattern recognition, and then half the audience would be like, it'd be like vampires getting hit by light. If we take conspiracy X and we solve for action Y, we see there's a major correlation between these two events. This is called the scientific process. If we solve for the missing variable, we see that it is highly likely that Z is true. La da 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 da. Fellas, you've got laser cats. Those illegal. Bruce Wayne, why are you dressed like Batman? Because he is Batman, you moron. Was. You know, that movie has like 3 awesome villains, but the plot is so bad. It's like if they would have taken those same villains and had a good plot, that movie would have been so much better. Yeah, like Danny DeVito, like, how cheesy do you want my performance to be? Yes. I can never get into that movie though. I think I've told the story a million times, but like, there's like 3 movies that every geek likes, but I don't really like. But like every like 5 years or so, I'll watch one of them and try to give them another chance. And the 3 movies are Blade Runner, Ghostbusters 2, and Batman Returns. Blade Runner I kind of appreciate now. I still don't, I don't know. I still think it's overrated. Ghostbusters 2 is garbage. And Batman Returns is also garbage, but I kind of, if I watch it, like, because Ed Wood is my favorite movie. So the movie Tim Burton made after Batman Returns is my favorite film. But I would, you know, watch Batman Returns, and it's like, it's kind of a shoddily made movie. It reminds me of, like, just like Ed Wood, there's like a part where someone bumps a tombstone and it moves. It's like, wow, this was like Ed Wood before it was Ed Wood. So I can't really respect it from a filmmaking standpoint, but it does kind of have like this like crappy, shoddy quality to it that I can kind of appreciate that way. And the performances are good. Yeah, Ghostbusters 2 is just bad. Okay, hot take. Ghostbusters 2016 is better than Ghostbusters 2. There we go. Oh! At least Ghostbusters 2016, yeah, like as you said, didn't have some stupid baby in it. I mean, clearly, what's his face? Bill Murray was like, I don't want to make a Ghostbusters movie. And like, okay, well, what if you can make a romantic comedy movie with Sigourney Weaver? So those will be your scenes, and then everybody else will make a Ghostbusters movie while you guys are filming that. That sounds great. That's what they did. It's like, ugh. I need to watch Batman Returns on Bud. Well, maybe if I get into that, I'll try it. No, see, well, part of my issue with that is, they had, well, you can really feel it drag in the third act because it's like they've got all these plots and then they just kind of abandon them. So it's like they're going to turn Oswald Cobblepot into a mayor, right? And that's a plot for a good chunk of the movie, but then there's a part where the crowd turns on him. That part's kind of funny. And then he runs away. And then immediately he's got a new plot where he's going to steal all the firstborn children of Gotham. And then I guess Batman stops that, even though you don't actually see that happening. And then Penguin has another plot, which is where he's going to have all of the missile penguins like blow up Gotham. And so that's where the movie really starts to suck, because it's like it doesn't even know what it's doing. It just starts sticking all these dumb plots on the end. It's like the Batman 89 also did not have a very good plot. It was pretty stupid. However, it was just one plot. Like there's a through line through the whole movie. It was like, oh, there's going to be the 250th anniversary of Gotham. And then it's like, oh, and then they can't pay for it, and then Joker takes over the ceremony or whatever. Because even in like the early scene in where they're at his Bruce Wayne's mansion, it's a charity to like try to save the festival. So at least the thing that happens at the end of the movie is a plot through line through the entire film. They don't just pull it out of their butts like, I'm gonna blow up all of Gotham. Yeah, he was great, but the plot sucked. Oh, but anyway, I guess we got way off the track of that. But so earlier in the film, Bruce Wayne is meeting with Max Schreck, and he's like, I want to build this power plant, Bruce. It's going to be great. The best power plant ever. And Michael Keaton's like, well, you and I both know that Gotham actually has an energy surplus, so I don't see why you want to build this power plant. I'm going to fight you on this. And then later that night, then what's her face? Selena Kyle. She shows up, and she's like, oh, it turns out your plant is actually a giant capacitor that actually sucks power away from Gotham. And who would you tell this to? Exactly. What did Curiosity do to the cat? And then he pushes her out the window. And it's like, dude, that's a data center. Like, the real purpose of the data center is not even about data. It's about sucking up all the power and using up all the farmland. So they can't. The reason Bill Gates buys all that farmland is so you can't grow crops on it. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, that's a good one, Holder B. That's a good one. It could be worse. Yeah, I don't know. It's. I wish the movie had a better plot because it had so many good parts and like great performances. But I don't know. It's just let down by the plot. Who wears more makeup? Oh, remember at the end of Batman Returns where he takes off his mask to reveal himself to Catwoman and then his eyeshadow is suddenly gone? That was actually something I liked about the Robert Pattinson Batman. It's like he takes off his mask and he still has the eyeshadow on, and then it's all sweaty, so they make it like emo tears. But I think Trump has more makeup because it's not just his eyes. It's like his whole head. All right. Research shows voters like politicians with fingers. Yeah, I was like all pumped for that movie. I had like the Making of Batman Returns like book. It was like this like big illustrated book. But then I saw it in the theaters opening weekend, and I was immediately and always disappointed with it. And the fact that I still talk about it to this day, I guess I wanted to like it more, but I didn't. Because I mean, I was already a fan of Tim Burton, because he had like Pee-wee's and Beetlejuice and Edward Scissorhands and Batman. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I just was kind of disappointed with it. Well, he beat up Bane in the daylight, remember? I am here to fulfill Ra's al Ghul's destiny. Also, you slept with his daughter. I did what? Really seals in flavor. All right, so... But then, yeah, they did that overcorrection with Batman Forever because they're like, oh, we got to make McDonald's happy. And I also thought Batman... Well, no. Obviously, Batman Forever is way worse than Batman Returns. I was never into Jim Carrey, so I had no reason to like Batman Forever. Like, I think Batman Forever is actually worse than Batman and Robin. Because Batman and Robin is so stupid, it kind of, like, turns the corner and just, like, becomes, like, actually entertaining camp. Because, like... Arnold Schwarzenegger saying a bunch of dumb one-liners, for me, is way more entertaining than, like, Jim Carrey acting like a frickin' idiot. Yeah, I think they were surprised when, like, Batman and Robin did poorly, but it's like, you made Batman and Batman Forever. That was like at the peak of Jim Carrey. So of course the movie was going to be successful. And What's-His-Face was a big act. Val Kilmer, he was... Because that... Well, yeah, Tombstone was really big, and I think Heat came out after Batman Forever. This is the same summer, though, wasn't it? And Nicole Kidman was a rising star. Was it Chris O'Donnell? Whatever happened to that guy? He was a rising star. And then, yeah, what's his face? Tommy Lee Jones. Didn't he get an Oscar for The Fugitive? I think he did. Like, so he had like a lot of star power in that movie. That was a movie where Warner's had to pay Billy D. Williams to not be in it. Because apparently Billy D. Williams had like a 3-picture deal or something to be Harvey Dent. And they had to pay him to not be in the movie. Well, yeah, because Tommy Lee Jones, he just acted like a spaz in the movie. Like, it was like he was trying to out-spaz Jim Carrey for some reason. It's like they're having a spaz off. It's like he didn't even really seem like a character, you know? And I don't know, maybe it's when I grew up, but like, if I'm going to watch a terrible Batman movie with a villain saying a bunch of stupid crap, it's more fun when it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh, Drew Barrymore was in Batman Forever too. Wait, no, Alicia Silverstone, she didn't show up until the Batman and Robin, right? Yes? I think also, like, I can't believe I'm defending Batman and Robin, but like, if you look at like Arnold and Uma Thurman, it's like they at least knew they were in a piece of shit movie and they just went for it. Versus like, yeah, Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones who were just having a spaz off. I think it's kind of like the Star Wars prequels, where like Ewan McGregor knew what kind of movie he was in, although he didn't really get to do anything until the second movie. It's like he got the assignment, as Redditors would say. Yeah, wasn't Riddler going to be, you were just talking about earlier, Robin Williams for the longest time, right? Lefty. So I'm doing this a little late in the day. This guy. And this guy. La da da dee da 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 da. Brum bum bum bum. I thought about making a YouTube video about Sky Shark. It could be like, can I beat this game I never beat as a kid? And then it'd be like this really stupid photo of me with my mouth hanging open. You know, it'd be vintage YouTube. And then like half the video would have to be like the fucking story of Sky Shark. It's like, who gives a shit? Just start the video. I hate when people do that. It's so freaking self-indulgent. It's like they just like make this stupid like, well, first let's talk about where this came from. Blah 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 blah. Which Star Wars movies still hold up today? I mean, like, if you watch, like, the end battle of, like, Return of the Jedi, it's, like, really good. Like, it looks even better than modern stuff. Just, like, the way they move the cameras around. And it's all done with motion control, too. Like, just, like, the sense of movement. Like, when they go... Like, when they're flying over the Death Star, it feels way more tactile than, like, the first movie, even. And then, I don't know, I just love the motion in it. Like, they fly around, they do a loop-to-loop, and then they go inside the Death Star, and then, they're going through it. And then I love the part when they get to the center of the Death Star in Return of the Jedi, and you see the speed at which they're going through the tunnel, and then they exit the tunnel, and then the speed, obviously, of the background changes, and it instantly gives you a sense of scale. Like, that stuff is great. Like, that stuff, I think, is still done better than modern stuff. Just because it really makes you feel like you're in the world. Because they use the motion to emphasize the scale. So apparently Disney is actually going to re-release the original negatives of Star Wars in theaters, I think this coming spring. So yeah, that would be the 50-year anniversary. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is happening. The thing is, even if the negatives were as bad as George Lucas claims in 1997, which I mean, come on, that movie would have already been in the historic register by 1997, right? Okay, even if the negatives were that bad in 1997, they would have already restored them to make the special edition, so it's not like they don't exist. Alexa, when did Star Wars enter the National Archive?
From Book.com. Star Wars was among the first 25 films to be inducted into the Library of Congress National Film Registry in 1989.
1989, yep. So if you have your movie inducted into the National Record, like Library of Congress, they take like the best print they can, and then I think they store it in like a salt mine or something. Maybe someone could Google that. Well, no, Philip, it's not the despecialized edition. They're actually re-releasing the cleaned up original negatives. So I don't know if that means they're going to have all the traveling map lines and everything as well. I mean, I guess they would. I don't think those would stand out pretty bad nowadays. That's what we need to pay for Star Wars again. It's a subscription service to Star Wars. You'll own no Star Wars and you'll be happy. Drink the blue milk. It's stored in Iron Mountain. No, I actually think it's like in a salt cave or something. That's like where they store all the negatives of like these preserved films. So like even if a nuclear war happens, super advanced alien AI robots from movie AI could watch Star Wars and Blade Runner. Left, right, up, down, right bumper, left bumper, R3, A, B, X, Y. Trigger. Alright. Good to proceed. Beep, boop, beep, boop. Oh yeah, because they got that Ryan Gosling in space again Star Wars movie coming out next year, so I'm guessing they're going to use the re-release as kind of a pre-push for that. I guess making a Star Wars movie with Ryan Gosling is Disney's Hail Mary. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, so I don't know if it's the same salt mine, but that's where they store the prints too. I don't know. Someone could. I'm pretty sure I'm right about this. I guess look it up. Because just because it's in the Library of Congress doesn't mean it's in the Library of Congress. The files are in the computer. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. All right, D-pad cross. Iron Mountain, Iron Cross. Hidden Dragon. That's a lefty. A lefty with holes. Excuse me. General Kenobi, I have studied your Jedi skills. Hello there. Yes, apparently it's supposed to be the original negatives cleaned up, or the original versions of the movie. Yes. Well, actually, yeah, because did he scan the negatives for, guess I don't know. I don't know, I just think there's... Okay, so you know when the ships are flying around? I mean, we all remember this. You can see it in the VHS as well. Like, you would see, like, they would remat the blue screen, like, every few frames as the thing tracked through space because, you know, they didn't have a clean blue screen. Like, there was, you know, rods and shit all over the place. So they had to mask in a blue screen around the footage. Or, well, not really mask in a blue screen. It was just, you know, they'd just mask it. Yeah, so I kind of wonder if that probably won't look very good on a modern screen. But maybe that's the nostalgia, you know. Yeah, I get to see Han Solo shoot first, yep. McClunky! Back in 1977, we didn't have the money. We couldn't afford to have Han Solo shoot first. So we shot the movie the way we did, and then we decided to redo the movie. Yeah, because they filmed it against a green screen, but there was... Well, they call it a garbage mat, right? That's what it's actually called. So you have, you know, you've got your ship in space, and then it's got rods, and then you've got lights, and blah, 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 and then you really only, you know, there's blue behind the ship, but that's about it. So as it moves, you do a garbage mat where you basically... Because remember, blue screens, when you're processing them, they're not actually blue. It's about removing the film. So you do that, and then you have to make another one, and then you make another one. And so, yeah, in the movie, you see this go blip, blip, blip as it passes by. So the process by which they did the garbage mats weren't perfect. Because, like, there's like so many steps to blue screen, because it's like, you have to, like, punch a hole in the negative, and then you have to reprint the thing behind it. I think there's like at least 3 steps. It's pretty crazy. Oh yeah, Project Hail Mary is great. I watched it like, well, I only say twice. I watched it and then I immediately realized it because I rented it and then it's like, oh, it's free on Amazon now. So I think I watched it again from when Rocky shows up. Yeah, so I guess I've seen it like 2.5 times or whatever that would be. No, I think Star Wars was like 10 because it like went way over budget. It wasn't like the most expensive movie ever made, but it was definitely over budget. There's like a story where like, what was it? It was like the what was it? Alan Ladd, who is the guy who, you know, the famous Fox producer, and I guess he like had a meeting with the board of directors, and the board of directors was like, this movie needs to be done in 1 week, and so he goes to like the, you know, whoever is producing it, and they're like, he's like, it's like, we have to get this movie done in 1 week because they're sick of all, you know, they're sick of it being over budget. And then the producer's like, well, if we were trying to finish this movie in 1 week, we'd have to hire like 2 more units, and we'd have to be shooting like 24/7 and all this stuff. And it's like, basically it would cost you, it's going to cost you more money to finish this movie in 1 week than it would be to finish it in 3 weeks. And he's like, well, that's what the board of directors wants. So that's what they did. So they basically spent a whole bunch of money just so they could say, okay, the movie's in the can. Yeah, there's like a lot of science that the movie just doesn't even cover, right? Like, but I don't know, maybe you don't need it. I mean, because really, the movie's not even really about science fiction. It's about, like, friendship and teamwork. Although I've heard the book goes into, like, insane detail, kind of like Michael Crichton used to. What's Damnation Alley? What was it even about? See, nobody even remembers it. Oh, come on. Go to your home. There we go. Now, Project Hail Mary was like what, 2 hours and 40 minutes long? It wasn't a short movie by any means. But it's okay. I've noticed, like, even if you don't know all the minutia, there's like 10,000 YouTube videos that explains it. You know, why Rocky didn't need a computer to fly through space. Oh, that's a righty. Why did I use that? Crap, do I not have any black lefties? Got a red lefty. Using white was a deliberate style choice. Yeah. Oh, SM Brown, a YouTube video explains that. Apparently in the book, Grace has to use a cane and his knees are giving out. Although in reality it would be a lot worse than that. Okay, so at the end, what was it like? What's his face? Ryan Gosling's asleep, and then his alarm goes off again because the amoebas got out of the containers and then started eating his astrophage, and then he realizes that Rocky's ship would lose all of their astrophage, and that's why he goes to save Rocky. So Rocky wouldn't be dead, he would just be stranded in space. That part was a little confusing, but I think that's what was happening at the end. Well, no, apparently also in the book, Rocky had already been at that star for like 46 years by the time Ryan Gosling showed up. Oh yeah, Rocky was a way better engineer than Grace was. Yep. Well, yeah, because remember he built that device that would like translate light into surfaces, so he could see the screens. Okay, one part that was like kind of questionable. Remember when Grace is trying to retrieve the collector box, and then he gets hit, and then he falls down outside the ship, and then Rocky is able to like echolocate through 2 layers of ship and see him. Well, how would he see him outside the ship? Because there's no air out there, or I guess ammonia is still a gas. That part was like, who cares? Okay, so also in these videos, apparently Rocky's race don't need computers because they are computers or something. Like the way their brain works is like a computer, and that's why he's so fascinated by Grace's laptop, because it's something that he doesn't need. And so I think that's how they're able to like travel the stars like without computers, because it seems like his ship is like mechanical. It's like all made out of like lines or something, or like strings almost. So that is a little weird. So like when Rocky first throws the canister to Grace, and then you see like the little robot antenna dish and the little robot arm kind of looking at the canister flying through space, and it kind of seems like something from WALL-E. So like that part seemed a little weird, because like, but those wouldn't have been robots. Those would have been like remote controls that like Rocky was looking through. You gotta read the book. That's a massive file. But yeah, also, why did the astrophage is like, it's like, oh, I'm gonna go to a planet, like that's like it goes to Venus. It's like, so what was it trying to do there, and how did it travel between the stars? And so then I guess he had amnesia because that woman didn't want him to remember what she did, although I guess he remembered it eventually. So they deliberately gave him amnesia. I think that's something else that's covered in the books, but not the movie. You know, it kind of reminded me of Dancing with Wolves, where like this guy goes to like this foreign environment, and he meets like a foreign inhabitant, and then You know, he learns their language and then he becomes their friend and then they work together. Dances with Rocks. It's the real Dances with Wolves in Space, not Avatar. Avatar is Fern Gully in space. Oh yeah, because Rocky just like, the ship just moves almost like without momentum in space. But you know, it's an alien ship. Like, it's just like how Rocky was a rock. It's like, I think it's nice when they make things that actually look alien, not just like humanoids with things on their forehead, or oh look, the alien spaceship is just, you know, it's just a spaceship, but it's got more triangles on it or something. Yeah, I don't know. Just, it reminded me of Dancing with Wolves, kind of. But unlike the guy in Avatar, Grace actually saves his own race and planet. He actually cares about them. Although Rocky kind of reminded me of Space Camp. Remember the robot that was like, Max and Jinx and Max to space? Remember that thing? Like, Rocky did give me a little bit of that vibe. But obviously Rocky was way cooler. Oh, well, hopefully this works. If this works, I'm probably going to like call it a night here pretty quick. So I can like... Well, I think it's too late to drink a seltzer. Maybe I'll drink some beers. Then go to sleep. I was working on the high score entry screen for the new game today, so maybe I can get that working tomorrow morning. I wanted to make it look really cool. So the new game, what I will say, it will have really cool looking score displays. I went out of my way to make to make them look really cool. So I wanted to make a really cool looking high score name entry thing too. We have not had audio sync delays for this stream. 0 drop frames. Wonder why that is. The computer seems... This laptop seems like it holds up pretty well. Project Hail Mary Pinball. Yeah, that'd be cool. It's like Ryan Gosling's like secretly becoming like a top star, and he's been in like a lot of movies. maybe he can save Star Wars. Ron Howard. He didn't. Oh, I got a question before I go. Speaking of like Amazon movies, so the F1 movie is different than the Ford versus Ferrari movie. Those are two different movies. Because in my mind, they seem like they're the same movie, kind of like how Ryan Gosling and Jake Gyllenhaal seem like the same actor. Well, I guess the person will be able to see this control stick easily. Oh, I did, since last week, I ordered like the good RGB IPS Nomad screen from some place called like High Techo or something. I don't know. It was allegedly one of the top results, so I think it was like $79. That's not too bad. Yeah, I think I might just fix up the Nomad and keep it. Because my big thing is like, yeah, even though I just put an arcade machine in my garage, it's like, my big thing is like anything collectible, or I want things to be small. So I would rather have a Nomad that's all refurbished than a Genesis. So I guess I'm kind of leaning that way. It's like most of my collectible stuff that I've bought like in the last 8 years has all been like graphing calculators. Oh, I was wondering where that went. Graphing calculators and like pocket computers. So yeah. So since a Nomad is smaller than a Genesis, I want a Nomad instead of a Genesis. So maybe I could like sell my Genesis or something. God, I think that's my original Sega Genesis. Well, maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's not. Can't remember. I think I did an AV mod on it. But yeah, I think it's the one I got from 1991. Remember, I sold all my Game Boy stuff to get the Genesis because I was like, wow, Genesis does. Yeah, it's a sign of the times for sure. Yeah, so I don't know when that screen will get here. I think it's coming from China. But yeah, we could do an installation like one of these Monday nights. Like, so I could I could get the casing all cleaned up. Oh yeah, I still need but yeah, you can buy replacement windows. Actually, does the kit come with that? Actually, I don't think it. Well, actually, no, I don't think it does. All right. So I guess I either need to laser a new window or buy one. So I guess I need that too. But yeah, we could do that in a couple weeks. And then this. Where am I on this? Okay. I actually kind of sobered up, and yeah, I think I will get a different knob than that stupid knob. I think I can just make a regular one work. If I thought I had some extras from the last one, I guess I don't. But yeah, I'm just taking my time on this to make it as good as possible. Yeah, so I've got I think this guy might move up here. Then I get put the power switch here, put the video circuit here, put the video oscillator here, put the audio amplifier here, put a speaker here, put a potentiometer here for the paddle. Joystick, probably. I need a volume knob. Probably not. Probably, I don't know. Maybe I can put it here, maybe. I'd like to put a headphone jack on it too if I have enough space. But yeah, just slowly working on it. I probably could, well, no, shipping's expensive now from China. So if I actually get all the circuit boards at once, maybe I could Osh Park it. Like this circuit board is done, so I could order that just to have it. Yeah, maybe I could Osh Park a couple of them. That means a couple of them will be purple though, and rather it be like black because you're going to see the tines, a sign of the tines. Yeah, but yeah, this is something I'm working on too. So yeah, even if we don't have controllers to build, there should be plenty of stuff to stream. F1 has Brad Pitt in it. Like Ford versus Ferrari was that Matt Damon? The full Tower of Power? I don't. I actually sold my Sega CD at a yard sale a couple years ago. I think I've told that story as well. There's some autistic woman, and she kept Googling the price. And I'm like, lady, this is a screaming deal. But I guess if you want to Google it and find out that I'm right, then you can do that. And she's like, oh, this is a good deal. I'm like, yeah, I know. So I think I gave her both of them for like $100 or something. I don't care. It's better than it has a good home, you know, because otherwise it just sits in my closet. Just would have been another rock sitting around collecting dust. The Genesis. Oh yeah, I still have that. Oh yeah, because that was the. Yeah, it's right over here. See? Yeah, I saw that. I saw the screen at a Goodwill, and I'm like, who is ever going to buy that screen? And it was there for like months and months. That was back when I would go to Goodwills and like looking for stuff. I don't do that anymore, but then I'm like, wait a minute, I could make a replica of my portable Genesis from back in the day. So that's what this was. So see, you put your Genesis in here, and then you do this, and then I think it's all powered by the. No, did I leave it? Oh crap! There's corrosion on it. Duracell's corroded? Are you kidding me? Oh, look at this. Dude, that was like a couple years ago. Well, that's a how do you do. Oh, look at that. See, just the fact that the TV came from Goodwill, it infected it with battery rot. I think I had this thing going to like the RF input too. It was like super ghetto. Oh yeah, this goes to the Genesis, and then this went to the. This connects the RF of the Genesis to the screen. Yeah. It was good for a joke project. All right, I think I'm gonna bounce. Bud, do you have any parting words of wisdom? Cute Bud, cute Bud, cute Bud, cute Bud. Oh, are you cute? Cute boy. I don't think I showed it to Uncle Bud. Yeah, we'll catch you next time. There's probably a decent chance that screen will be in next week, so yeah. Well, again, I need to replace the front of it too. All right, I'm sure we'll do something next Monday. We'll see you then. Bye.